Hello, everyone. Welcome to Getting Hyper about HyperDocs. In this session, we will talk about exactly what a HyperDoc is, how they might be able to transform your teaching and learning, and where you can begin if you're interested in getting started. Before we get into it, I want to explain to you what brought me to offer this session and why I thought it might be helpful to other people. Back in March, when we first went into quarantine, it became very quickly apparent that our fifth and sixth graders were having trouble knowing how to find the resources and materials they needed to complete an activity or a lesson. They didn't know where to look, they didn't know where to start, where to go next, and where to end. So, creating a HyperDoc could be the solution to that problem. Before we talk about exactly what a hyperdoc is, it's important to understand what a hyperdoc is not. First of all, it's not just a Google Doc. In fact, you're going to see that it can be created out of any sort of digital media. It is also not a new app, and it is also not a canned curriculum. A hyperdoc is a purposely designed digital lesson that is student-paced, visually appealing, and uses varied types of digital media. It is also a complete learning cycle in one digital location. They provide access for students to all the content and learning in one organized digital space. That space can be any form of digital media that allows interactivity by the user, such as a Google Doc, a Google Slide, a Google Form, a Padlet, a Nearpod, etc. In the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you a few examples of hyperdocs that have a few things in common, but they were all made by using a different type of digital media. In this first example, you can see that it was created by using a Google Doc. So this is a pretty simple method. The kids start at the top and simply go through down to the bottom until they get to their final product. What you're going to see in the next couple examples, the things that they all have in common, they are visually appealing, they're student-paced, they use a variety of digital media, and they are, most importantly, a complete learning cycle in one digital location. They also offer student choice. I forgot to say that. All right, so in this particular example, they're going on a digital road trip to learn about the 50 states in the U.S. And as you can see, there's various ways that they're going to learn this material: watching videos, reading essays, looking at pictures, playing a game, listening to music, a travel blog, a thing link, which is like a digital poster in the sorts. After they have been introduced to all these different modes of information, they'll start to gather what they need for their final project. So they'll choose 3 places that they like to visit, pin them on a Google map, write a script for their final project, which is down at the bottom, creating a video using something called Adobe Spark. So as you can see, this is the entire learning cycle in one digital package created by a Google Doc. In the next example, this is a Google slideshow. So again, what it has in common with the first one: visually appealing, student-paced and student choice, varied digital media choices, and a complete learning cycle in one package. So this is not as easy to navigate through, in my opinion, because it's on multiple pages. And a student does need to know a little bit about how to navigate through a Google slide. If they go into present mode, that might be the easiest way for them to get through one page to the next. However, if there's something that they need to interact with on here, say, for example, here where it says they might need to type something or write something, you can't do that when you're in present mode. So they are going to have to know how to get in and out of present mode for what they need to accomplish to get their project done. So as you can see here, again, there's multiple choices for them to choose from. And one of the things that I like about doing a HyperDoc using a Google Slide that you cannot do on a Google Doc is you can embed the video directly into the assignment. So these are YouTube videos that can be watched right here on this page. They don't have to leave the slide to go to YouTube and then come back. So that's a handy feature. And here you can see the digital media choices, a Flipgrid or a webcam recorder, quizzes, and a final product, choosing a story and explaining the point of view in a seesaw activity. So again, student choice, student paced, various digital media, and a complete learning cycle in one digital location. The third example is a Wakelet, which I personally have not used one yet. I've just recently started to hear about them. It appears to operate kind of like a website, and it is a place to gather web resources into one location. So this particular HyperDoc activity is an exploration of robots that this teacher would like his students to complete before they begin studying a novel, The Wild Robot. So this is a compilation of web resources that will end in a Flipgrid activity. So as you can see, it's a link here to a website called Wonderopolis, and when you click the link, it does open in a new tab. So the students will have to know to do what they need to do on this page and then come back and continue down. It opens up in another tab, so they'll have multiple tabs open by the time they're finished. But again, what this has in common with the other two, it's visually appealing, student paced, student choice, various digital media use, and a complete learning cycle in one digital location. So those are just three examples of different types of educational technology tools used to create a HyperDoc. So I'd like to show you where I got those three examples. There's a website called hyperdocs.co. It has everything you need to know about HyperDocs, including the history of where they came from and how they got started. If you click on this start button, there's actually professional development lessons that you can go through if you're interested. I did not do that, but where I started was I went to the Find and I went right into some samples. If you scroll through this sample page, you'll see that there are hundreds of HyperDocs that have been created by teachers who are willing to share their hard work. And this might be all you need to go ahead and get started. So if you feel like you're ready to explore and try to create on your own, go ahead and go through here and see if there's something that you might be able to just plug in your information and go from there. If you feel like you would like a little bit more help, then stick around and I will walk you through the steps on how I got started with my first one.